Hello everyone, Ember here, and welcome back to a new video. And in this one, I'm going to be taking a look at a post-rotation Mega Abomasnow deck. Now, if you've never tried this deck before, I highly recommend giving it a go. It is so much fun, and yes, it might not be the best deck on the ladder, but you'll be surprised at how many wins you could rack up with a Mega Abomasnow, with a little bit of luck, of course. Mainly it's down to what you draw in the opening hand. If your opening hand is a Snover and 6 energy, then yeah, things are going to go south pretty quickly, but aside from that, it's a very, very fun deck when it gets going. So Mega Abomasnow has a really fun attack, Hammerlanche, for 2 water energy. Says discard the top 6 cards of your deck, and you do 100 damage for each basic water energy card you discarded in this way. And we play 36 water energy. 36. So it's actually quite easy to hit 3 or 4 off the top of your deck quite often. It just is, fundamentally. So you can one-shot Megas with doing 400 damage if you hit 4 energy, which is plenty, of course. And it does mean you can just take 3 prizes, just like that, which is, yeah, kind of scary for most Mega decks. Now, of course, there is some Megas that can one-shot you back. Ironically, the Charizard that is weak to water can actually one-shot you quite easily, so that is something to bear in mind. But aside from that, some Megas, the majority of them really, do actually struggle to do 350 damage in a single hit. Mega Lucario can get there if they stash up a bunch of premium Power Pros, but realistically, you one-shot them, they typically will not one-shot you. So, yeah, it does get kind of scary. So you have a second attack, Frost Barrier, for 3 water energy, does 200 damage, and during your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks. Now, typically, if your opponent has another attacker on the bench that's nearly ready to go, it is basically just worth attaching a water energy to a bench Snover, as opposed to, risking it with a Frost Barrier. However, there will be situations that arise whereby you don't need to Hammerlanche, like it's a single prize Pokemon like Solrock, for example. You can just get away with a Frost Barrier. You don't have to, mill 6 and risk losing some precious resources. And to be fair, we don't play many precious resources. You only need 2 Abomasnow throughout the whole game to win anyway. So, it's not such a big deal. And to be honest, I've won 4 games today in a row with just 1 Abomasnow. I didn't even need 2. So, that is also something to bear in mind. But yeah, Frost Barrier is there to just finish off some smaller Pokemon. It's sadly doing only 200, so it's not enough to KO like Ogerpon or Fez. But it's still, a nice little poker, and it does give you a bit of extra HP with that 30 less damage during your opponent's next turn. So yeah, that is the main attacker. We play 1 attacker and that's it, just a 4-4 line. As for the trainers, we play just 5 unique trainers. Now, this was modeled off a Japanese list that was basically just playing 40 energy and just had 4 Larry skill, 4 Ultra Ball, and 4 Dawn. But I decided very quickly after a few games the deck needed a little bit more oomph, so I added in some Pokégear, which basically just means you have a slightly easier time of finding a supporter if you don't get one in the opening hand. And an opening hand with a supporter is all you need to get a Pokemon going. So you don't need lilies in this deck. Lilies would be pointless. You just need Dawn and Larry skill. You could also run Brock's Grit if you fancied, but I kind of prefer Dawn because it's always an Abomasnow and a Snover, whereas Brock's Grit would either be 2 Snovers or an Abomasnow. This just gets one or the other, and you always just need a 1-1 line anyway. So, yeah, Dawn just makes sense over Brock's Grit. But yeah, if you were building this IRL and you wanted to play super cheap and you couldn't get any Dawn, then yeah, Brock's Grit would be your next best option. But yeah, we play 4 Dawn. We also play 4 Larry's Skill. This is quite nice for thinning out the deck. It allows us to discard our hand and search our deck for a Pokemon, a supporter card, and a basic energy. And typically, it doesn't really matter what supporter you get. It could be another Larry's or another Dawn, but it's mainly there to just thin out the deck of other supporters. But it also gets you a basic energy, which you might want to have in hand, maybe if you don't have enough already somehow. And you can also just get an Abomasnow or a Snover. Yeah, pretty simple deck explanation, really nothing too crazy going on here. Also got 2 copies of Energy Recycler just because you do deck out quite quickly with this if you're milling 6 every time you attack. If you're milling into, obviously, 2 and 3 prize Pokemon, you really shouldn't need to attack that many times in the game anyhow. But this is still nice for just giving you better odds at hitting that sweet spot of 300, 400 damage, or even 500 damage, which is always fun. So yeah, Energy Recycler is worth it, I think, to just get a bit of extra oomph. And yeah, the energy count is pretty self-explanatory. You could run the special energy that I think is coming out in Chaos Rising, but honestly, aside from that, there's really nothing much to add to this deck. You could argue some bosses orders would be fine. Some stadiums perhaps, like Luminous City or something. But overall, the deck seems to be running absolutely fine, and I wouldn't really change anything about it right now because it wins enough. So, yeah, that's it for Abomasnow. It's a ton of fun to play. I would highly recommend giving this one a go if you haven't already. Of course, like things can go wrong. Don't expect to be smooth sailing every single game, shall we say? But it is a lot of fun, and when it gets set up and it works, then yeah, it is really funny. So yeah, I would definitely recommend giving this one a go. But yeah, it's been Emma. What do you think about Mega Abomasnow? And yeah, thank you for watching. Okay, so it looks like my opponent is playing a Venusaur deck, which is pretty interesting. You know, like Decidueye I think would have given us a bit more grief, so Venusaur is a bit more preferred. Having said that though, Venusaur is kind of tanky, so we do have to worry about that somewhat. But my opponent did just discard a Judge, which is good news for us. We want them to play Lilies and nothing else really, so fingers crossed they don't do anything too drastic like another Judge play. Fingers crossed. Please do not judge me. Please do not judge me. Please. Thank you. Well, that was very nice of them to leave a healthy Ogerpon in the active spot. So yeah, we'll go ahead and use Dawn. Get another Snover out the deck. We don't actually need another Snover, of course, but it's just to thin out the deck, so we have more chance of hitting some energies. Then we will go ahead and evolve here. Now, my opponent could boss Snover and bind it down, which is why I didn't want to bench Snover earlier, but I just thought it was better to play it safe, just in case they had some crazy energy shenanigans and were able to KO us. But very easy KO on Ogerpon here, which is very nice to see. Can go ahead and take some prize cards, probably just some energy, but supporters would be nice. Energy is fine, don't necessarily need anything too crazy. But yeah, we can just slowly start attaching energy to the Snover, because my opponent will more than likely... Okay, they're just going to go all in on Venusaur, that's fair. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens now, because my opponents could, in theory, claw their way back from this. Now, if you wanted to be a bit more sensible, you could maybe go for like a Frost Barrier play in this situation, because like realistically, nothing they can play can carry you, except like Mega Meganium. But I don't think they're in a position to use Mega Meganium, so Frost Barrier is probably a solid choice here. Like, we could just go for the 2-shot. But part of me also just wants to high roll it and see if we can hit 4 energy, because it'd be funny. Yeah, I think we high roll it. Do we? Oh, I don't know. Oh, if they're going to attack this turn, then yeah, I probably just want to go all in. They would need, like, Night Stretcher or, like, another way of finding an Ogerpon. Yeah, because they can Solar Transfer, but I don't think they can Jungle Dump just yet. They'll need a... Alright, okay, fair enough. I'm going to attack with this guy. That's fine. I'll just one-shot that. It's okay. Interesting. That is fine by me, I guess. We know they're going to move this, so... Energy down here. May as well. And Hammer Launch. Oh, you love to see it. You love to see it. Easy 3 prizes, just like that. Just like that. Alright, what do we get here? Gear, Ultra Ball, Larry's Skill. I mean, all useful things. We can recycle our next turn after we've Ultra Balled, so we can, like, oh, it doesn't matter what order we do them in, but, you know, still get some energy back into the deck at least. My opponent could hit us with a Stampede Judge or whatever, but really, we have an Abomasnow, we have 1 prize left. We're in a very good position here. If anything, we could just get another Abomasnow and actually just Frost Barrier for the rest of the game. But, like, that's not really the fun option, you know? Like, the fun option is using Avalanche and knocking stuff out in 1 hit, which is what we're going to be doing. So, as you can see, we've kind of just run away with this game, like 5 prizes. My opponent hasn't even attacked once. And that was all because they just whiffed an attack. So, like, yeah, pretty grim. But it does happen with Abomasnow. Okay, there's the Grand Tree. Are they going for the 1-shot? They might be able to, actually. Because they've got doubled energy if they evolve all the way up this turn. So that would be spicy if they did 1-shot us here. However, we can probably just retaliate and 1-shot them, so it's fine. It should be fine. I'm kind of hoping they're able to 1-shot us, just because it's a bit more hype if they do that. I don't want them to unfair stamp me, though. That would kind of suck. Another grass energy. Right, okay, we're going all in on this Ogerpon. So, currently, I believe they are doing enough if they get Meganium. Yeah, because that's what? 150 doubled is 300. 330 with the Mirror Leaf Shower. You're running away? Really? Foolish mistake. This guy has an energy on it. Alright, so we can Ultra Ball away to energy. Now, my opponent will more than likely scoop before we attack, but I would like to do this anyway. We could even thin further with... oh, I forgot to Pokégear first. Never mind. It's fine. Yeah, we have less chance of hitting something now with Pokégear, but... Yeah, no, that was deserved, but it's fine. It's fine. Right, Landslide. Yeah, 400 damage. Doesn't matter anyway. 400 damage just like that with every attack. It's crazy. Do love Abomasnow.